Hi and welcome to Omni Edition Garden City. I'm Dan York. This week on the program, we're going to take a look at the athletic side of things here in Garden City. First, we'll have Dan Plamondon, who is the supervisor of the Garden City Parks and Recreation, and Darlene Hennessy here from the Garden City Hockey Association. They're going to talk about some of the activities going on at the Civic Arena, some of the programs that the Hockey Association is offering, and Dan will also talk about some of the programs that Parks and Recreation is offering. And also we'll have Mike Collard from the Garden City Youth Athletic Association here, along with Dave Faricello. They're going to talk about signups for baseball, softball, football, and cheerleading, and also talk about the fact that the GCYAA is going from slow pitch to fast pitch softball for the young ladies during 2013. But before we get to all of that, our up front segment here on Omni Edition Garden City. And it starts with Garden City High School's coming home basketball game. The Cougars will be taking on the Thurston Eagles on Friday, February 8th. That's their annual coming home game, and the king of Garden City High School, the coming home king, will be crowned at halftime of that game. So come on out and check out the Garden City Cougar basketball team under their new coach, Ron Pummel. You'll also see this game here on GCTV the following weekend on February 9th and 10th. And of course, it'll show up later on YouTube as one of the many ways to watch GCTV. Our next Garden City City Council meeting comes up on February 11th. You know the drill. You can come be a part of it yourself at 7 o'clock. There are a couple of public hearings that day on the 11th, which will cause the meeting to start around 6:55. You can watch it live on GCTV, which is Channel 12 on Comcast, Channel 18 on WOW, Channel 99 on UVerse. You can also watch it streamed on Ustream through the city's website at www.gardencitymi.org/GCTV. You can watch it on demand the following day at that same website, and it's also available through YouTube. And Mayor Randy Walker will be presenting his 2013 State of the City coming up on Tuesday, February 19th. It's put on by the Garden City Downtown Development Authority. It begins at 8:30 in the morning at Albert's on the Alley. There will be a free continental breakfast available that morning, and the mayor will begin his presentation around 9 o'clock. So the public is invited to Mayor Randy Walker's State of the City coming up on Tuesday, February 19th, beginning at 8:30 a.m. at Albert's on the Alley on Middle Belt Road. So when we come back from this very quick break, Dan Plamondon will be here again. He is Garden City's Parks and Recreation Supervisor, and Darlene Hennessy from the Garden City Hockey Association, and we're going to talk about activities at the Garden City Civic Arena. We'll be right back.
Know what?
What?
Since I got adopted, I've learned a lot about these humans.
I know. I mean, check out these two. It's Flirt City over here.
Yeah, I noticed that. It looks like my human is definitely into your human.
Oh, look! I think she's getting his number.
Nice.
Your human's got some sweet moves.
Takes after his dog. Oh, look, they're doing that thing where they put their arms around each other.
She kicked up a leg. It's like in the movies.
That's awesome. Looks like we're going to be hanging out a little bit more.
Hi, and welcome back to Omni Edition Garden City. I'm Dan York, and as we promised up front, Dan Plamondon is here. He's Garden City's Parks and Recreation Director, and Darlene Hennessy is here. She is the treasurer of the Garden City Hockey Association. Welcome to both of you.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you for having us.
Well, we want to talk about the Garden City Hockey Association. Obviously, Dan Plamondon, who is running the ice arena for the Garden City Parks and Recreation, very much involved in the scheduling and what goes on there as far as the maintenance and the operation of the ice arena. And Darlene here to talk about some of the programs that the Garden City Hockey Association has going on right now. Tell folks a little bit, first of all, about yourself. How did you get involved in the GC Hockey Association?
Well, my son started playing for Garden City a couple of years ago, and I started taking an interest in what was going on other than just going out and rooting for him. And I started attending the meetings, and they were in need of a new treasurer, and that's what I was nominated for and elected. And so one of the goals for this year was to help Garden City grow, Garden City hockey grow. And so we held our first free hockey last September to start it off and make it grow, and that's what our goal is for.
And obviously the way to make it grow is to bring in some of the younger kids so that they develop into the older levels, I guess, of play to participate in the Hockey Association.
Right, because we were starting to not have as many kids playing there, and so what we started is we knew that we needed to start from the ground up, so we held our first free hockey in September. And we were one of the high volume arenas that did it. We were the only other one other than Adrian in Michigan that had 70 kids at our first free hockey.
Okay.
And of that 70, we had 60 of them sign up to do our novice program. Great. So from that, we've continued to stay around 55 to 60 kids in our novice program. It runs every 8 weeks. It's $40 for 8 weeks, and they come on Saturday morning.
Now explain to people what novice means.
I'm sorry,
they might not know.
Novice is when you have never been skating and you're learning to skate, and you are out there and you start out with like a little, almost like a walker, we call them pushers, so that they get their balance, and then they really graduate from that really quickly. We have a great coaching staff that comes out and they help the kids, and they help them with their stick and how to hold a stick and how to shoot a stick and how to skate, how to stop, how to go backwards. And so that's the novice. It's a learn program, instructional program is some of the other ways to call it.
Okay. Well, generally, what are the age of the kids in that program?
Majority of the children are in the age of 4 to 9, but we do have a couple of them that are 3, and they are doing well, actually. And then our oldest one, I think, is 16. Okay. And
but novice is novice.
Novice, yep.
You need to learn to play.
You need to learn to play, yes. So they've been having a good time and having a blast, and we're actually going to go to a little tournament for the I program in the hockey arenas around the area, down in Wyandotte, and they're going to get to play a tournament. They get to play 3 games on a weekend in February.
So some practical game experience.
Yeah, so they can do that, and then hopefully start up in spring hockey with some teams that we didn't have. We're going to have Mini Mite, which is the 5 and 6-year-old, Mite, 7 and 8, Squirt, which you already do have, 9 and 10, and then the Pee Wee, 11 and 12.
Okay. So if someone wants to sign their children up or their kids up for your novice program, what do they do, and when does it start up again?
So we'll start up again on March 16th. But prior to that, on February 16th, is our free hockey day that we're having another one. It's in conjunction with MAHA, which is the Michigan Amateur Hockey Association of Michigan, so it's of Michigan, and they do that in conjunction with the Red Wings. The Red Wings are very active in promoting hockey in the state of Michigan. And now that the season's begun, we probably won't have anybody out there of the Red Wings, but we do have a stick that's coming that we'll be able to give out to somebody in our free hockey day. And that is free, of course, and they just sign for this one. Let me explain this one, and then we'll go on to that novice, is that they just go to MAHA, www.maha.org, and then they would have that class at 11 o'clock in the morning, and they would need to be there at 10. It is free. All of the equipment will be supplied for them. And if they like it, then they can sign up then for the March 16th session, and it runs 8 weeks, and it's, again, $40. So that will be our next session. We're currently finishing our 3rd session, and we'll have one more.
So the Try Hockey for Free program is really aimed, again, more at the younger kids.
Right, 4 to 9.
Okay. All right.
And we already have, I think, about 10 children already signed up. And we can do up to, again, 70 if we have that many, and that'll be great.
Okay.
But our aim is to get them started again, and they may or may not, depending on if they have any skating experience or how far they advance in that 8 weeks, they may or may not be ready for the fall. And if
Okay.
not, they can join novice again, and we start back up in September.
So the maha.org website is where they sign up for?
For free hockey.
All right.
To sign up to come to Garden City Hockey, you would come to the rink on a Saturday morning from 9 to 11. That's when we're there with the current novice program.
Okay.
And they would sign up if they need some gear, hockey gear. We do have some gear that we do lend out, and we just ask that it be returned at the end of the season.
Okay. Talk to me a little bit about your component of this. Obviously, you have to provide the right facilities. You've got to provide the right ice. You've got to provide what these folks need in order to keep their programming going and to make their programming successful.
Correct. The Learn to Play Hockey program, novice, with the Garden City Hockey Association is really the bread and butter of our building. This is, the arena works as a liaison to the hockey club to make sure that we're giving them a good, clean building. We're providing good, safe ice, and we're making sure that the experience of mom and dad coming to the arena with son and daughter is a good experience. We do realize and acknowledge that hockey is an expensive sport, but I'm sure hockey moms such as Darlene out there will attest to the experience of the kids on the ice is something you're not going to get out of another sport. And it's my job as the arena manager to work close with Darlene and the club and with the staff to make sure that our building is providing a good experience for that program as well as every other program in the building.
Now, our ice rink is one of the older ones in the area, so obviously there's a lot of competition amongst all of the different rinks trying to fill as much ice time as they can, especially with the economy the way it is for governments. And some governments have even gotten out of the business of having ice arenas. But then it must be difficult for you to keep your rink competitive with newer arenas and bigger arenas.
Correct. And having said that, we look at our two main priorities in making sure that our building is an attractive place to come, is making sure that our building is clean and that we have good ice. And I feel that we achieve both those goals each and every year. Just as recent as past year, we started taking our ice out every summer. So we basically turn everything off, we melt the ice, and we put it back in. This gives us a great advantage to making sure that we have a fresh, clean slate of ice. It's not brittle, it's smooth, it's safe, and it's easier to maintain if you're working on a sheet of ice that's only been there 4, 5, 6, 7 months, and then we're melting it all over again. So it is very competitive. I think we do a good job of competing with the other rinks, and we do have good affordable ice. We do work with the association and give them a slight discount for Garden City teams. A lot of those kids on those teams are residents of the community as well as the surrounding communities. So it does continue to be a challenge, but I think we know our customer base and we know what customers want when they come in the building. I think we do a good job of that.
Okay, and obviously it's important to you to continue to grow the Garden City Hockey Association. The more kids, the better off everybody is.
Correct, and Dan has been a wonderful help and promoting it. He helps us promote through the school district. He's right there with us whenever we need something. He's easily accessible and definitely has provided ice for us and tried to fit in our teams and everything where we need to be. And so it's been a great friendship and a great relationship working with Dan, and I appreciate all that he has done for us. We've really worked hard, and he does mention that it is an expensive sport, but it's a fun sport. The kids build a lot of team knowledge, working as a team. They build a lot of friendships, and sometimes those friendships last their life because they'll go all the way through midget double B is 17 and 18-year-olds. They'll go through that and maybe play, if they don't make it into the big leagues, which I know that's always they're going to be an NHL player. And they don't always make it, but that's okay because then they start playing with their friends as an adult.
Right. And the Garden City Hockey Association, the teams that you have now, obviously it requires a lot of volunteers, a lot of coaches, a lot of time put in by the parents as well as by the kids themselves to keep these programs and these teams afloat.
Yes, that's true. We do. All of us are non-paid. We're all volunteers, including the board. We do put a lot of time in it, but we want it to grow. We have great parents that help us out when we need it. All the coaches almost all of our coaches have somebody on the team. Some of them have no kids on the team, but the majority of them have kids on the team, and that's what it takes. That's what it takes to make hockey grow, is parent involvement and great help from the end.
All right. Do folks have a website they can go to for Garden City Hockey?
Yes, our website is www.leaguelineup.com/GCHA.
Okay.
It's a long one.
leaguelineup.com/GCHA.
Correct.
Okay.
And all contact information, our email addresses for all of the board members and phone numbers are located on there, and they can contact us.
All right, and you have
Any
a
questions?
website through the city for the Civic Arena and for Parks and Recreation. People go through the city's website, and then they're redirected to the special website that you have for the rink and for all of your Parks and Rec programs.
That's correct. Yes. And all of our programs and facilities all intertwine as far as accessibility. The Ice Arena's website is www.gardencityicearena.com,
Okay.
and links to the Garden City Hockey Association and Novice program are all on there as well.
All right, and then you can find this all through. We just keep throwing email or internet addresses at you: gardencitymi.org/parks, gardencitymi.org/arena. Different ways to get to all of those different websites, links to the Hockey Association website, and obviously to the Parks and Recreation website. Okay, one more time. Your two big events coming up. First of all, the Hockey for Free program.
Yes, and that's February 16th at 11 o'clock.
Okay, and folks can go to maha.org for that one, right? MAHA?
Yes.
Okay, and then your Learn to Play Hockey program, your novice program.
Yes.
New sign-ups start?
They can start anytime after this February 16th date. They can sign up at that time, or they can sign up even as it approaches right on that day of March 16th to sign up to.
And the Learn to Play Hockey program is also on Saturday morning, is that correct or not?
Yes, both of those are on Saturday morning. Those two times, though, will be at 9 and 10 o'clock in the morning.
Okay. Very good. Well, I want to wish you the best of luck with the Garden City Hockey Association.
Thank you.
And Dan, we'll keep you around and have a conversation with you right after this.
Thank you.
All right,
Thank
we'll
you
have
very
more
much.
Omni Edition Garden City right after you watch this.
There are a million places you'd never consider texting. So why would you do it while driving? Leave risky driving to the professionals. Stop the texts, and together we can stop the wrecks.
Welcome back to Omni Edition Garden City. I'm Dan York, and we still have with us Dan Plamondon, who is the Parks and Recreation Supervisor, the Civic Arena Manager. Welcome back. Thanks for staying with us.
Thank you.
We talked about the Garden City Hockey Association. Now we want to talk about some more of the activities going on at the Civic Arena. Everything is really in full swing right now, as we said here in January, February.
That's correct. Each season, we really identify December through February as our busy months of the season. People associate wintertime as coming to the ice arena and going public skating. One of our events that we have going on right now, this is the second season we've run it, is our Glow Skate. Our Glow Skate is on Saturday nights. It's basically public skating with the lights off, and we have black lights illuminating over the ice. But we have it on Saturday nights at the ice arena from 7 to 9 o'clock. It's a fantastic event. We've been getting really good numbers for it. And the cost is $5 for adults, $4 for kids, and $2 for rental skates. And that fee does include a free glow necklace that we give all the kids and the parents for coming in.
Okay.
And it's been fantastic. As I said, we've had good participation. And we've, since in this season, we've actually been entertaining a lot of birthday groups in the arena. They've been coming on Saturday nights for the Glow Skate, and they rent out a room that we have upstairs for a minimal fee, $25 an hour. You can decorate the room, you can bring in pizza and birthday cake, and we give you a discount, $1 discount if you have groups of 15 or more. And we've been renting it out better part of every Saturday for the last couple months. So that's
Okay.
been going really well for us.
All right. And if folks want to rent that out, where do they call? Where do they contact?
They would contact Parks and Rec. We're open Monday through Friday from 12 to 6. You can speak to myself or another gentleman in the office there. We can usually help you out. And it is first come, first serve. So we do recommend if you're planning a birthday party that you plan ahead.
Okay.
Make sure you get your room.
All right. I'm assuming they can also email you through the city website?
That's correct. Yep.
All right.
Yep. Email is always accessible, or contact anyone through Parks and Rec or City Hall, and they can find a way to get a hold of me.
Okay, very good. All right, so, and this is something you've only done for the last couple of years, right, the glow skate?
That's correct. And we were actually able to take advantage of a grant about a year and a half ago where we got new lighting inside the ice arena, and we included the purchase of some glow light fixtures with that grant. And with that, it's as simple as turning one switch off, on and off, and turning another one on and off. And it's taken a little bit of time to build up, but it's really becoming the new thing. I know Westland runs a glow skate on Friday nights. Ours is on Saturday nights.
Okay.
So it's something fun to do. And we do recommend, with the lights being off, maybe the not most beginning novice ice skater come out. Hopefully you've been on skates. But we do have regular open skating on Sunday afternoons, where that's just traditional open skate with the lights on, and that's on Sundays from 1:30 to 3 o'clock.
Okay, very good. Now, we talked about the Hockey Association in the last interview with Darlene, but obviously to the Garden City Figure Skating Association, the other big group that uses the Garden City Civic Arena, they have a lot going on right now too, right?
That's correct. And one of the other programs that we really identify as our bread and butter of the program is the Learn to Skate program. And that is run by the Garden City Figure Skating Club. They run that program on Thursday evenings from 5 to 6 and Saturday afternoons from 1 to 2. Now, the Parks and Rec office does register kids for that program during our office hours. So if there's questions or if people would like to register, they can come to the office and register there. It's a very minimal fee. I want to say it's somewhere between $50 and $60, but it's a 6-week program. Rental skates are not included. And this program has been around for a while. Any ice arena runs a Learn to Skate program. So we have that going on. And in addition to that, the Figure Skating Club hosts a number of different events throughout the year. They have a big ice skating competition the first weekend of March. They have an ice show, which is open to the general public. That's in May. And, there'll be tickets for sale for the ice show, usually starting around the first week of May. So if anyone from the community wants to come out and just watch a nice event, that's a great show that the rink puts on every year with the Figure Skating Club.
Right, and we televise that and then show that later here on GCTV also. And the Garden City Figure Skating Club is one of the oldest figure skating organizations in Metro Detroit, and they have turned out some excellent figure skaters, and they continue to keep this program going at the Civic Arena.
Absolutely, and I know that's the draw for kids to come in and get instruction from a coach that's got good credentials, has won a number of competitions. And I know Garden City has gained a reputation over the years of having good, strong coaches, and they continue to do so to this day. So, and they are accessible for the figure skating side of the ice arena business. If there's girls that would love to learn how to figure skate, or boys, you can always contact them if you'd like to be a part of their club, and all their contact info is on our website.
So along with having the Learn to Play hockey programs, we have Learn to Skate programs too. So any form of skating that someone wants to participate in, they have the opportunity.
Absolutely, and this is where myself as the rink manager and the ice arena, it's our job to help those programs succeed. Whether it be through, encouraging ice rates, friendly ice rates, giving a good clean building, making sure that the building is safe. We want the parents and the kids to come in the arena and have a good experience. We want them to learn how to ice skate and maybe become a hockey player, or maybe, try out for a travel team should they become that interested in hockey. We want them to learn how to ice skate, and where they may take an interest in competing as a figure skater or just doing it for fun. Everybody that comes to our arena doesn't become a professional hockey player or become a professional figure skater. There's lots of opportunities.
Okay, very good. And we talked about the Learn to Play hockey programs with Darlene, and that continues with another session starting up in March.
That's correct. They're in the middle of a session right now, which runs until the first Saturday of March, and then they'll have a week off, and then there'll be another 8-week session that will run from mid-March, I believe, through the first week of May. It's an 8-week program. It's $40, and you get free loaner equipment. If you don't own a hockey stick, gloves, or skates, we'll provide everything for you. There's an agreement you'll have to sign to return the equipment, but you can use that equipment during the program. So if you've never played and you want to come try it out, for $40 for 8 weeks, that's a pretty good deal.
All right, and the phone number that people can call for Parks and Recreation, because we throw out a lot of websites, but people sometimes don't want that. What is the phone number that folks can call to get in contact with you, and where they can be redirected at least to all of these great organizations?
They can contact Parks and Rec anytime during 8:30 a.m. to 6 p.m. at 734-793-1882.
Okay.
And our office is open to the general public from 12 to 6, Monday through Friday.
Okay, very good. Also, at the same time, you have after-school programming going on.
Yes. The after-school sports program, in conjunction with Garden City Public Schools, we offer youth sports programming for flag football, basketball, and as well as middle school basketball, grades 3 through 8. 2 programs we have going on right now is our boys and girls varsity program for 5th and 6th graders. And this is the first time we've allowed the girls to play with the boys. And we've got some pretty good registration numbers. We have about 5 teams with anywhere from 12 to 13 kids on each team. And all games takes place at Berger Center for the Autistic. And all the practices are held over at Farmington. It's a little late to register for it, but each year we run this program. Sign-ups usually start in October, November, and then we usually start games right after the first of the year. Okay. So that's the varsity program. And then we also have the middle school basketball program for boys for 7th and 8th. And that follows the same calendar. We practice in late fall, and then games start in January and usually run through about the end of March.
Okay. And we mentioned the fact that the boys program and then a boys program and a girls program combined. One of the reasons is that the high school has taken over a lot of what you used to do for the girls basketball program. Is that correct?
Correct. And yes, they've taken over the girls middle school hoops program. And I know that they've opened that up from 6th through 8th graders. I don't know if they're in the middle of that season quite this moment, but if you wanted to register for that program, I would contact the Garden City Middle School.
Right. I just didn't want people to think that we were leaving the girls out.
Yes.
There's a reason that they weren't mentioned in this conversation.
Yes.
On the day we're shooting this, we've got snow and slush and rain and everything all over the place, but we are just weeks away from the beginning of the men's softball season.
Absolutely. Men's and co-ed. So we have co-ed leagues as well. We've really given Garden City softball program an identity as far as slow pitch softball in this region. I have a strong background in programming adult softball leagues. I used to run the Canton leagues for 3 years. But Garden City softball is the place to play. That is the place to come. We have good recreational co-ed and men's softball leagues. We'll be starting signups the week of February 18th for returning teams. We have the same registration fees the last 2 years. We have not increased our costs. We have good professional umpiring crews. All of our leagues are affiliated through the Michigan United States Specialty Sports Association, as most people call it, Michigan USSSA.
Okay.
So if people have heard of ASA softball, we're a different association. So. But yeah, we'll be starting signups, and leagues will start around the first or second week of April. We do it as soon as the weather breaks. Last year, the sun was out and the birds were chirping around March, and teams were chomping at the bit to play. But we will start usually around the first or second week of April. So,
all right. So again, if folks want to sign up for that, where do they go website-wise? Where do they go phone number-wise? And where do they go brick and mortar-wise?
We definitely want to start everybody by going to our website, which is gardencitysoftball.com.
Okay.
www.gardencitysoftball.com. On that website, you'll find our registration form, all our rules, everything pertaining to signing up a team. One thing that we've started the last couple seasons is we've allowed teams to put down a deposit as opposed to paying the whole fee. And the minimum fee you need to pay as a team is a $400 registration fee. That guarantees your spot. and then you can make payments up until opening day, first pitch.
That's good.
And the phone number is 793-1882.
All right, and then is obviously when it comes to turning over the money again, that's at the Civic Arena?
Yes, the Civic Ice Arena. At the Ice Arena, we register softball. We sign up kids for basketball, all at the Ice Arena upstairs in the Parks and Rec office.
Okay. Even though, again, I talked about the weather today, one of the more successful things that we've ever done has been the skate park at City Park that opened in November on a pretty cold day, but there's been enough warm weather that the kids have been out there, and even without the warm weather, they're out there.
Right. And the skate park, thank you to Wayne County Parks and Recreation, and Diane Webb, outgoing county commissioner. Our skate park was funded 100% with no city tax dollars. It was through Parks and Rec millage funds. We had an outstanding company, Spawn Ranch Skate Parks, who has a long, credible resume of skate parks through the X Games, ESPN, Mountain Dew, Red Bull, and this is a very, very nice skate park. We've been drawing kids from all around the community in the Tri-County area. I pulled into the parking lot and seen bumper stickers from Brighton High School and Fenton High School, and we opened November 16th, and the kids have been out there just about every day that they can see a small patch of concrete. They're finding a way to skate on it. They were out there the other day with their shovels, and I think I even saw a snowblower. They were looking for ways to find a way to navigate through there. And it's also open to BMX biking, too. That has been just as equal of a draw as skateboarding as BMX biking.
And so we really haven't seen a peak season yet for this because it's been chilly. I mean, there have been some great days, but it really hasn't been skateboarding season yet since it opened.
Correct.
So the real test will be come March and April when the weather breaks.
That's correct. And the skate park is unsupervised. We do not have a monitor that works there. We trust that the skateboarding community will help us take care of the skate park. And, we will open it up as the weather cooperates. When the springtime rolls around, we anticipate a full crowded skate park, and we look forward to that.
And when the weather breaks, of course, the walking path, even when the weather hasn't broken, the walking path, a huge attraction at Garden City Park.
Yeah, Garden City Park, the walking path, 1.2-mile walking path around the perimeter of the park is used 365 days a year. I would be willing to bet there's even a walker or two out there on today, even with the sleet and the snow. But
maybe
that's
a cross-country skier out there.
Absolutely. But that's in full swing, as well as our pavilion rentals, which is always a big draw and attraction to the park. Lots of barbecues, family reunions, and concerts in the park and things like that. So everything for those is contacted through the Parks and Rec office. If you'd like to reserve a space, you can contact our office and reserve your pavilion space.
All right, give that phone number again.
734-793-1882.
All right, and rather than give out all the different domain addresses that Dan has, www.gardencitymi.org/parks will get you to the links to everything we've talked about in this program, whether it be the Hockey Association, the GCYAA, the soccer clubs, the softball website you have, the Civic Arena website you have.
Yes.
All of these different things, they can all access it through the main city website, which is gardencitymi.org.
Absolutely.
All right, so no off season for you, huh?
No off season. We shift from softball to hockey, back to softball, and everything kind of sprinkled in between. So we're a 12-month operation for sure.
All right, well, good luck with it.
Thank you. Thanks
All
for
right,
having me.
we'll have more Omni Edition Garden City right after you watch this. Hi, and welcome back to Omni Edition Garden City. I'm Dan York, and as we promised up front, we have Mike Collard, who is the commissioner, or the president of the Garden City Youth Athletic Association. Welcome back to the program, sir.
Thanks, Dan.
And Dave Faricello, who is the commissioner of the Baseball League. Welcome to the program for you. We want to talk about lots of things, everything GCYAA, but we want to talk about, with Dave, specifically baseball and softball. Sign-ups are going to be starting very soon for both of those, and there's been a change in the softball leagues. First off, both of you guys, how long have you been involved in the GCYA? Because as long as I can remember.
This is my 26th year.
So you almost right out of high school, you got involved
Right out of high
in
school,
the
yep.
GCYAA. And you were coaching when you were in high school, weren't you? Or
Yeah,
not?
I was coaching when I was in high school.
I thought you were coaching when you were in high school. And Mike, how long have you been involved with
I'm the
GCYA?
junior member. This is my 17th year for coaching and 4 years on the board, so I'm
Okay.
the junior member.
And obviously, like everything else in town, these kind of things, we talked about the Hockey Association, GCYA, these folks are all volunteers, are all parents, and they're just trying to keep these programs afloat so these kids have things to be involved in. And Garden City has historically been known for its baseball and softball programs. I mean, this goes back a long time, and when we were kids growing up here.
played it.
Yeah, I mean, this was the place to play baseball. And we had East Side League and West Side League and everything else, and city championships. But things are still pretty solid, right? I mean, we still have a
yes,
lot of kids involved in the programs.
Yes, we have the biggest program in the current area. If you combine all the local cities together, our program would be bigger than all of them combined, Dearborn
Okay.
Heights, Wayne, Westland. So we have a really big program here.
And there is cross involvement now, right? There is involvement from Dearborn Heights kids and Westland kids and Dearborn Heights teams and that sort of thing.
Yes, because their programs are so small, they had requested that they could play some games with us years ago, and we said, "Oh, that's great. We want their program to keep moving forward. We don't want to take away from anyone's program. And we just want to see children play ball."
Yeah, it's not about territory. It's about kids being able to play ball.
Right. So that's why we combine with other cities and bring them into our league.
Okay, let's talk about the softball component first. Garden City has always had slow pitch softball for GCYAA. Garden City is known as one of the premier fast pitch softball teams in the state at the high school level.
Yep.
And all those girls usually come through the GCYAA at some point in time. But we're going to make a change from slow pitch to fast pitch.
Right. We're one of the only slow pitch program in Southeast Michigan as of last year. So we've been talking about this for a few years amongst ourselves, and we even went to parents and said, "Hey, what do you think about if we just went to fast pitch?" It's getting harder and harder to form the slow pitch league. It's harder to get other cities, because other cities just aren't doing slow pitch, to join with us. So we're to a point where we feel we should change with the times. Everyone else is moving to it. The high school, there's fast pitch, there's not slow pitch. We were struggling with the ball's coming over without an arc anyway. The umpires are calling strikes without the arc. So it only makes sense we should evolve with the rest of with ball. So that's why we decided this year we're going to form this fast pitch league for our house players, where we play just like we do with the rest of the GCYAA, fair, even teams. Spread everyone out, give everyone a lot of playing time. We have mandatory playing rules. So everyone gets equal playing time. It'll give an opportunity for those players who've played fast pitch in the past, who are stuck in one position, to now be spread out and play multiple positions.
Sure. And obviously this will help for the kids that end up playing high school ball. This will be that much more experience they have playing fast pitch.
Absolutely. We're shooting for a 20-game season, maybe more in some cases. With playoffs, it's hard to tell how some teams move along in the playoffs, but our minimum is 20 games.
Right.
We're going to combine with Dearborn Heights, and we talked to Wayne. They're excited about this. They're trying to get a house program going also, so we're going to combine with Dearborn Heights and Wayne, with the 12 and under and the 10 and under. And then on the weekends, we're talking about going to other cities so we can have a wider range of games. We don't just have to play each other all the time.
Okay.
But just like on Saturdays, not every Saturday, but certain Saturdays throughout May and June.
Now, what would you say to a parent or one of the girls that thinks, well, I don't know if fast pitch is for me. I don't know if I can catch up with the ball batting and whether I want to play fast pitch?
Well, fast pitch is really so similar to slow pitch softball. It has the same rules, except there's stealing. Okay, so that's a little different, but it doesn't take a whole lot to catch up on that one. And the ball comes in a little faster. They should be used to some of the balls coming in faster, because with slow pitch, they were coming in without an arc.
Right.
It's just coming in at a different angle. It's coming off the hand a little different. With a little different type of practice, they're going to be able to catch up to it. 10 and under girls and 10 and under boys. Boys play fast pitch all the time.
Sure.
The ball comes overhand. So, things being equal, and boys and girls are a little different, but not too different. They can pick up the ball just like a boy can. The ball's a little bit bigger. So we don't think there's going to be too much of a difference, other than it's a different type of training. So if we just train them a little different, I think that all the girls can play fast pitch that played slow pitch in
Sure.
the past.
Well, and an 8-year-old's an 8-year-old.
Right.
I mean, an 8-year-old pitcher in baseball is unless you get the phenom, is throwing as hard as an 8-year-old can usually hit it.
Right.
I mean, the two usually go hand in hand.
Right.
So.
My girls, they both play baseball, and they're going into fast pitch. So I don't see them any different than any other girl in Garden City. I believe that you have to throw, you have to catch, and you have to hit, and we can teach them all to throw, catch, and hit. We're going to give a little more special attention to, especially this being the first year, different type of training and.
Okay, and there'll be a little bit of a transition this first year. I'm sure there'll be some growing pains.
Right, there are.
Yeah, absolutely. What are the ages, and I know it's different between the boys and the girls, but what ages participate in the GCYAA and participate at what levels? Because we talked about this, and I want you to talk about this on the air. We talked about this great program you have for 3- and 4-year-olds playing t-ball. So kids start as young as 3 years old in Garden City.
They start as young as 3-year-olds, 3 and 4-year-olds. We have a t-ball program for 3 and 4-year-olds. We have a t-ball program for 5 and 6-year-olds. And then for 7 and 8-year-olds, we have a coach pitch softball program. And now we're calling it a coach pitch fast pitch program. It won't be true fast pitch. The coaches are still going to pitch, but we're going to have them take the arc off the ball.
Sure.
And again, bring the kids along so they'll be ready when they get 9 and 10. It's a building process. And again,
so they won't face pitching from their own friends until 9 years old? Did I hear you say that right, or do I misunderstand that?
Last year we introduced letting the girls try to pitch.
Okay.
So we want to at least give them an opportunity, see how that works out. That's going to be one of those work in progress since it's the first year.
Sure.
We'd like to have them pitch. With the boys, we introduce pitching. They don't pitch the whole season. We pitch off a machine. We want to try to do something similar with the girls to where, the coach pitches the first part of the season, and then as we move along, maybe a player can pitch 1 inning, and then a couple games later, maybe 2 innings or something.
All right.
We're going to try and see if we can get them there. It may be tough because they're 8-year-olds.
Sure.
But at least, we can start to teach them. If it doesn't work out.
And sometimes hitting off, and now you're talking about the machine for the boys,
Right.
Sometimes that's actually better because they'll actually see strikes.
Right.
Sometimes Dad can't throw a strike either.
Right.
So,
Speeds the game.
I mean, as long as they get the more strikes they see, the more swings they'll take.
And it worked out really good with the boys moving up, introducing player pitch early. So with the girls, if we can do that with the girls, and it may take some time to get our niche. We've learned a lot over time on how to introduce player pitch with boys, and we're really successful now when we get to age 9 and 10. Those new players coming in. So
you mentioned machine pitch. Is there machine pitch for girls, or is there not a machine that throws like that?
There's not a machine that throws like that. I wish there was. It would be nice. But if we can find one, we're definitely going to look at that in the future. But.
Okay. All right. So again, we're 3 years old to how old?
We have a program for 3-year-olds to 19-year-olds.
Wow.
So boys actually age 19 can play in the program.
Okay.
There's a place for them.
All right, and we're approaching February now. Sign-ups are right around the corner, or are we in the middle of it already?
Nope. Online registration begins on February 4th. That's next Monday, or it's Monday the 4th. It goes through March 1st.
Okay.
And March 1st is actually the day before our last walk-in registration. So we run it through between the registrations. And then we have walk-in registrations on February 13th, it's a Wednesday, February 20th, it's a Wednesday, and then March 2nd, it's a Saturday.
Okay.
And those are all at Henry Ruff School.
Yeah, so folks know that that's at Henry Ruff now, not at Maplewood, but at the Henry Ruff School.
Yep.
Henry Ruff, surprisingly.
We did that last year, so yeah, a lot of them will be familiar with it.
Okay, and there is a fee involved, is there a sliding scale depending on what age you are and everything else?
Yeah, it's a staggered fee of what it costs per age group. We'll have that online at GCYAA.com.
Okay.
We're handing out flyers to the schools. We mail out flyers to players who've played in the program in the past. We put flyers in different places. We have them at the Maplewood Center and different places like that. But for the most part, the fees cover really the age group they're playing in. Umpires are more as you get older, so you charge a little more.
Mm-hmm.
The really old, much older kids, they get custom uniforms, so they pay more. The T-ballers, they're not quite expensive.
Yeah.
You buy tees and different kinds of equipment.
And some caps, sure, okay.
So.
And Mike, without getting into the politics of this whole thing, you guys, for the most part now, other than field costs, have to cover all of your costs. It's all on the GCYAA now, where in the past the city had, 100 years ago paid for umpires and then paid for field maintenance and lining and this and that and the other thing. Really, the only thing the city does now is cut the fields, and as of now, we'll start dragging the fields again to keep them safe. But as far as daily lining and daily dragging and the umpires and everything, that's all paid for with your fees and whatever sponsors you can get.
Yeah, that's correct. We started last year. We had transitioned big time last year. We take care of our own dragging of the fields. Like you said, they're gonna. From what I'm understanding this year, they're gonna do a maintenance maybe once a week on it. We do the daily dragging and chalking of all the fields. We're paying for the basically the whole thing at Moeller last year. I think things are going to change. We don't have that finalized yet, so I don't want to say too much on that yet.
And that's not important to what we're talking about here now. But the important thing that people know, and when they look at those fees, and maybe if they gasp a little, they need to know that this covers it all. It's where it's coming from.
And our fees are still lower than other cities. If you look at the costs in other cities, our fees are still lower than what other cities are paying to play ball. So we try our best to keep the fees down, have our fundraiser, like we have a pancake fundraiser.
And you do offer alternate fundraising methods for the families too, like you used to, or not?
Yes, we offer a way for parents to defray the cost. We bring in candy, and it's available as long as as long as we have it. We don't go out and get more. So if you come into walk-in registration, you can purchase the candy usually for half the price of the
what
entire
you're going to
box.
sell it for, right? Okay.
The box has 30. You'll pay 15, and that's just at cost for us. We don't make anything. The association doesn't make anything on it. But that extra 15, so they'll pay $30. They'll sell it, and they'll apply 15 to the cost of
their sign-up
registration.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Cool. All right. So again, the sign-up dates, both online and in person.
Mm-hmm. Online, it is
Okay.
February 4th through March 1st, and in person it is Wednesday, February 13th, Wednesday, February 20th, and Saturday, March 2nd.
Yep. All right. Very good. Mike, let's talk about a little bit about some of the other things you guys having going on. First of all, let's talk about the folks that are at the top of the pyramid, I guess, the folks that are on the board and helping to run the GCYAA. I mean, you need commissioners at every level, and you have to have people watching, closely at every single level. Not to mention just the coaches you have to have, the total volume of coaches you have to have.
Yeah, it's very deceiving, to be honest with you. Along just like the money portion of it. We just had our new elections this year. We have myself returning as a president. Jim Anthony was the softball commissioner last year. He's now the vice president. Jackie Faricello is the treasurer this year, and Candace Westbrook is our new secretary this year.
Okay.
So really not a lot of changes. The baseball commissioner Dave, football commissioner Scott Murray. Our new fast pitch softball commissioner is Tracy Blaylock. She's been involved for several years. Shar Ladishik and Kelly Brang are going to do the cheer. And Kurt Blankenship, who's been in the organization for almost 50 years, still handling the buildings and grounds. So, yeah.
Yeah, and you know, people sometimes forget about the football component of it and the cheerleading component of it, which has gotten huge in its own self.
Yeah. We have our open. Well, it's not open registration. We're doing it different this year. We're not having a walk-in registration for our veterans. We're doing it. We're asking the people to go to GCYAA.com. There's a link for the football. The forms are all located on there. Mailing them into the P.O. box, which is all the information's online. That will go on until March 2nd. As of March 3rd, midnight, we'll have open registration.
Okay.
And I recommend people to get on that at midnight because it fills very quickly.
Because you do have to have a limit of the amount of kids that can play football, right? Because of the cost of the helmets and the pads and everything else. I mean, it can't be like baseball where everybody's in. Football, you can't do that.
Yeah, correct. Yeah, we're kind of limited.
Numbers game.
Yeah.
You have to have the same amount of teams in every league. If
Right.
you have one league that has a whole lot of kids, but the other two don't, then you can't 4 teams in those leagues. So
Right. Yeah, and you look at the Milfords and that have a red, a white, a black, and a gold or silver or whatever.
they
the
have
heck
at every
have.
age group. And so
Yeah, right. So and you still divide the kids up by weight as much as age?
It's there are weight limits. They go with the grades now, age limit grade. We went to the Livonia League 2 years ago, and it's been a great move, I guess you'd say. Competitive. Our kids are enjoying it. We're actually happy. I mean, there's changes every year, you know what I'm saying? So,
You say that with such shock, Mike.
So, yeah. The kids, yeah.
Okay, so football signups again, they start when, and again, this is not an online registration, but the forms are online. So this is for your veterans, your former players that are coming back.
Yep.
That starts when now?
Veterans only. That's right now. From now through March 2nd.
Okay.
And then the open registration for the new players will be March 3rd, midnight March 3rd.
Okay. And the other event that has just snowballed is opening day for baseball and softball. Again, back when we played, it was a big deal.
Yeah.
But it's like quadrupled in the amount of things and people and activities, and it's really turned into a major thing.
Right, more people get involved all the time. Gordon Chevrolet is involved. Some of our sponsors get involved. Dick's Sporting Goods, they're involved. They don't come out, but what they've done is they've donated gift certificates that we hand out. It's not really a raffle ticket, but we hand out a ticket to every child who attends, and then we call their name, and I think we give away 6 $50 gift certificates. They don't have to pay anything, and that's compliments of Dick's Sporting Goods. It's a really good deal.
And the kids face paint and balloons
There's
and noisemakers and signs and.
Right, we have a little
we
competition.
used to walk out in a coma at 8:30 in the morning, and freeze to death, and just wanted to get it over with. And now it's really a big deal.
Doesn't last a whole lot of time and draw their attention away, but it's a lot of fun.
We wanted to switch a couple years ago with the new smaller 3, 4, 5-year-old T-ball hands-on kids, kind of make it as much fun without overdoing it with the face painting and stuff like that, and make it a fun day for them because their attention span's pretty short.
Yeah.
And just keep them interested in coming and then, make it kind of a nice day for everybody.
And it is. It's a really nice day. And things start a little later than they used to, and I realize I'm going back 15 years when I'm saying that, but things start a little bit later, so the weather's a little better, and it's not that fight with the end of April and the third week of April trying to play. You're not getting really things going until that first week of May, so the weather's usually a little bit better.
Yep.
All right. So, yeah, exactly. Knock on Formica.
Right.
All right. So football signups, it's all at GCYAA.com. All of the information you want. Football signups that are going on now for the veteran players. And then baseball and softball actual online registration where you can actually pay for it online. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. And then the 3 walk-in days, which on my notes say February 13th, February 20th, and March 2nd.
That's correct.
All at the Henry Ruff. They go to the Henry Ford, see what they say. Henry Ruff Elementary School on Henry Ruff in Maplewood. All right, guys, I want to thank you very much for being with us, and good luck with everything this year.
Thanks.
You guys are doing a great job.
Thank you.
All right, we'll have more Omni Edition Garden City right after you watch this.
Look, he's blushing. Seriously.
That's Omni Edition Garden City for this week. Thanks very much for watching, and thanks to all of our guests, including Dan Plamondon, Darlene Hennessy, Mike Collard, and Dave Ferricello. Don't forget, we've got Coming Home coming up on February 8th at Garden City High School. Come out and check out Cougar basketball yourself. They'll have the crowning of the Coming Home King at halftime. Council meetings coming up on February 11th and the 25th, and the Mayor's State of the City on Tuesday, February 19th, put on by the Garden City Downtown Development Authority, and it'll be held at Albert's on the Alley. My thanks to Evan Chapman and Christian Gibbons for helping to produce today's program. I'm Dan York. Thanks very much for watching, and good night, everybody.